This morning we are in the town of Dammer, which is about 5 miles from Vorden.
We're here to find a pharmacy so I can get some relief from the mosquito bites, and I have lots of them. So I'm looking for something to relieve the itch and something which will act as a repellent.
As it turns out, we visited this town twice today. Once to go to the pharmacy, which was successful, and the second time to visit the police station. But we'll be telling you more about that in a while.
As you can see, this is a very pretty town. It's not particularly large, but it's again very well kept, and they have a few similarities with the UK. As you'll see, this chap's pulling out in front of us without looking. Now, are we surprised? Not really. Anyway, another thing you'll notice is the number of electric bikes here. We're just going to pass one on the left, and there's a couple more in the front. But we've certainly seen a lot of electric bikes around here.
Just in a short time. Oh, right. Yes, the Danish, they have it, you know.
Right, we're on the outskirts of Hamburg.
Very industrialised.
It's how can we describe German driving? It is fast, truly fast. I mean, they go at top speed, and then they get to somewhere like this where they then have to trundle along at a couple of miles an hour. It's really quite strange.
Can be stressful.
You know, when you think of the M25 now, where they have those speed restrictions so that it keeps the traffic moving at constant speed, we have yet to come across something like that. What you tend to get is advice on speed just coming up to a queue, and then when the queue's over, you get advice then how fast you can go.
If there's a speed limit at all.
If there's a speed limit at all. But we've just hit Hamburg on the rush hour, I think. So we will just have to dawdle our way through. The reason we're well behind schedule, we should have actually been at our hotel by now, but we had a panic this morning, and it was quite a serious panic. We left.
We went to pay, didn't we?
We went to Dame to get some mosquito repellent for me, because I've got all these bites, and we went there and paid for the bits for the chemist, and then somehow on leaving, we lost Annie's purse. That
But didn't know about.
we didn't know that until we got to Bremen, and then we spent quite a long time actually hunting the purse that didn't exist in the car, and we were wondering what we needed to do, and should we phone the bank or what. Anyway, I decided to phone the police
Back in
Dame,
Dammer.
and they hadn't received anything. So we were then about to ring the bank and cancel the card that's in the wallet purse. So just as we were about to do that, lo and behold, the police station phones us to say they have the wallet. And anyway, we decided we better go back and retrieve it. So that meant going back about 80 kilometres, the same distance as Bristol to home. So we went back to collect it. The disappointing thing is that all the euros that were in the wallet have gone. But
Even the whole euro coins had gone. Anything less than that,
The cents.
they left.
But somebody else obviously put it into the police station, which we obviously were very grateful.
But the card was there.
And the credit card.
The all-important credit card was still there.
So
I have to say, each time I've tried to use it, I've got to put in my PIN number, which is probably a saving grace, isn't it?
yes. So anyway, we having to go back there, where we would have been, where we need to be at about 4 o'clock, 3 to 4 o'clock this afternoon. We're not now going to get there until probably 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock in the evening. The hotel closes at 9, but we have spoken to them, and they said that if we are going to be after 9 o'clock, they'll leave a key for us. So they've been very pleasant, very nice, which is much appreciated. So the question now is, how long will it take us to get around Hamburg? And in the distance, you can probably see cranes. They are amongst these great wind turbines,
which are in Germany everywhere. I don't think you're anywhere, even if it's just a tip of the distance, I'm sure you'd be able to see a whole host of wind turbines. Trucks are only allowed on the inside lane.
Yes, this is a strange characteristic. On the motorways, autobahns, I should say, there are rules for trucks, and there are occasions where they can only occupy the inside lane. As you can see, right along this road, they are occupying the right-hand lane and not allowed to come into the middle or the left lane. And we've seen some phenomenal queues of trucks just waiting in the right-hand lane. It's, for miles and miles and miles, I should say kilometres and kilometres and kilometres, just stacked up.
You have a road joining, of course, they've got to be able, cars have got to get through the trucks before they can get onto the outside two lanes to progress anywhere. So if you're overtaken, you'll be so careful. There isn't a car going to dip out in front of a truck to get into your lane. It must take the drivers how they can say in the UK they have delivery times, but just don't know how long you're going to be stuck in a queue here, do you, for the truck drivers?
And they are a phenomenal number of trucks. Trucks. So once we get to self-drive trucks, there are going to be a lot of people out of work in Germany.
Going this way then, John.
So we'll see. Slow up.
Okay.
This may have been a mistake.
It says I can do 80, John.
Yeah.
I think the lanes are a bit wider. Sometimes when they're doing roadworks, there isn't really room. They've got two lanes, really narrow lanes, and you can't really overtake a truck, can you?
Well, we do see them, but the amount of space either side is incredibly narrow. People seem to be able to do it.
We saw those 3 black cars earlier on, didn't they? They just held back rather than even try.
We've been working our way around Hamburg on the western side.
We had hoped to miss most of the rush hour, but as any large city, distance is hard to achieve when the roads are so congested.
Now we're about to enter the tunnel that takes us under the River Elbe. It's 3 kilometres long. It's not particularly exciting in there, so we haven't filmed. We've just filmed just going into it.
Once we came out of the tunnel, speed gradually increased, and we managed to move on to the German-Denmark border. And we all went down to single file, but experienced no difficulties getting through there. We reached Christiansfeld just before 8 o'clock after a long day of driving. And I have to say the driving definitely did ease up once we'd reached the Danish border. Would you agree?
I think so, and I was very pleased to see a speed limit on the motorways. It makes a big difference.
Yes. Oh, is this a kill canal? Yeah. Oh.
Well, we have arrived at our hotel. Hotel's called Brodremen Eigens Hotel. It's not the easy thing to pronounce. As you can see, this is an unusual room. It has a big radiator in the corner. Not in use now, but obviously clearly it's a feature that they didn't want to get rid of. Apologies for the light. It's getting a little dark outside. The light in the room isn't particularly bright, so the film doesn't portray the room in its best light. Haha. Anyway, Annie's got something to tell you about the hotel itself.
Yes, this hotel, the first foundation stone was laid on the 1st of April 1773. It is the settlement of the Moravian Church, if I've pronounced that correctly. Apologies if I haven't. And it's the only UNESCO site in Denmark. The heater in the corner was coal-fired, wasn't it? And originally, I mean, it was cold. It wasn't working when we were there.